Hello students, welcome to the class. In the previous class, we have discussed about the critical evaluation of formal education system in India. In this class, we are going to discuss about the concept of deschooling. Deschooling is a term invented by Austrian philosopher Ivan Illich. Today, the word is mainly used for homeschoolers, or especially those who are unable to go to the school, or those who don't want to go to the school, to refer to the transition process of that, and parents go through when they leave the school system in order to start homeschooling. It's a crucial process that is the basis for homeschooling to work. Deschooling is a term, I have already told you, it is invented by Ivan Illich, an Austrian philosopher. It is a shift of traditional government-influenced institution of schooling to a less restricted method of learning that focuses on being educated by one's natural curiosities. We are getting our formal education with the institutions called schools, colleges, universities, etc. But there is a propaganda, there is a theory, another theory is there proposed by Ivan Illich. We are not supposed to have the education through only formal education institutions, but also we have the chance to educate ourselves in our home only. Those who are not, and he is clearly emphasized that we have to de-establish the formal education institutions. We have to establish deschooling. It's a system where people can learn easily and naturally, not only getting information from the teachers, but also he is learning life, how to lead the life. Then what is the term exactly stands for? Deschooling is a term used by both educationists and philosophers. Educationists also using the concept of deschooling. Apart from educationists, the philosophers are also using the concept of deschooling. In the formal education system, as we discussed in the previous classes, while we are critically evaluating the formal education system, we are simply running a rat race with having highest marks, highest results, first class, etc., without having any knowledge, or in term called Sanskrit Jnana. It doesn't mean to have the Jnana and how to lead the life, but we are very eager to have certain degree certificates with highest marks, results and ranks, etc. Because of that, deschooling emphasizes to improve the Jnana as well as it give a experience to lead better life. It's also used by proponents of alternative education and or homeschooling. Thought it refers to different things in each context. Homeschooling is nothing but it not merely mean that simply teachers are in the absence of teachers we could be able to receive education from our parents. No, it's not like that. Homeschooling is we have to create an environment where a child can get its own knowledge by involving activities and with the parents as well as the surrounding nature and fellow mates, peer groups, etc. We have to receive information, knowledge, skills and so on with the experience, our own experience is the main propaganda of deschooling. It was popularized by Ivan Illich in his book Deschooling Society in 1971. He has written a book called Deschooling Society in 1971. After that, a concept of deschooling has been famous by the educationists and the philosophers. What are the characteristics of deschooling? Deschooling is a rejection of institutionalization of education. Education is not only what we are receiving from the formal education system. Education is to learn about leading the life. Experience only can make us to empower to lead our life with a better manner. in the better manner. Opposed universal education. We are not supposed to impose our own propaganda on the children. We are having some certain formal education system, timetable, syllabi, framework, examination, assessment, results, etc., etc. No, there is a opposition for universal education as well as the assessment procedures from the deschooling proposers or those who are accepting the deschooling process. More education does not produce better educated individuals. If we have education degrees with our along with our name plate, it's not merely mean that we have well educated. Or education is far different from literacy. Literates are always not regarded as the educators. Is the characteristics of deschooling is clearly mentioned that more education does not produce better educated individuals. Institutionalization of education causes the institutionalization of the entire society. Society is made up of social relationships. We are not supposed to impose education or form educations to create a human relationship on the basis of formality. Institutionalization of education will always leads to the institutionalization of the entire society. Then suggests this type of education system suggests the educational funnels be replaced by learning webs. What we are imparting in the formal education institution is not clear and it's not supporting to develop ourselves, our personality and increase our knowledge or understanding procedures. We have to replace these kind of education funnels by imposing or imparting or having the educational or learning webs. This is the characteristics of deschooling or the propaganda of deschooling. Then let us look into the Ivan Illich personal profile. Ivan Illich is one of the best philosopher from Austria, who is born in 4th September 1926 and died in 2nd December 2002. He is a Roman Catholic priest, teacher, thinker, philosopher, educationist and social critic. He has critically evaluated the formal education system which is prevalent in those days and is clearly emphasized to deschooling or replace the formal education system with the educational or learning webs. He has written a book called Deschooling Society in 1971. It criticizes the modern society or modern society's educational approach to the education or institutional approach to the education, an approach that allegedly constrains learning to narrow situations in a fairly short period of human lifespan. Ourselves claim when we are going to the schools, we have completed our secondary education, we have completed our PUC, we have graduated from so-and-so university and so on. This is not the education and this is not the learning process. Education has to learn from the cradle to grave. This is the propaganda proposed by the Ivan Illich. We are not supposed to claim ourselves as educated persons while we are educating in the formal institutions for a certain period of time. It's not the right way to claim ourselves as the learned persons. Then, according to Ivan Illich, universal education through schooling is not feasible. All the people are not affordable to the education which is imparting by the private institutions as well as the government institution. Higher education is not possible to have education in the formal institutions. That's why universal education through schooling is not feasible. It would be no more feasible if it were attempted by means of alternative institutions built on the style of present school. Present school is vaguely criticized by the Ivan Illich. It's not the best form of educating the children. We have to give a chance to the children to have their own educating with active participation in the society activities with their own peer groups, parents and relatives, community, society, etc. Use of advanced technology to support learning webs is to be given impetus by the Ivan Illich. A person is not able to attend the regular class with formal institution, then he is free to have his own education process with the online webs. This is the main propaganda proposed by the Ivan Illich. Nowadays, we are witnessing that more courses has been implemented by state government, and as well as abroad, many more, much and more foreign universities are always adopted on through online mode education procedure to impart the education to the persons, those who are unable to get education through formal institutions. Dear students, in this class we have discussed about the concept of deschooling and the profile of the proposed philosopher Ivan Illich, who is from Austria, and his famous book Deschooling Society. In the next class, we will discussing about the book which is written by Ivan Illich. Let us look into the matters in the next class. Thank you for listening. Thank you.